What's good, guys? Fantasy Joe back here with my Week 2 running back rankings, half-point PPR as always. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I post my rankings every week, waiver wire videos, as well as buy lows and sell highs. If you guys want to win your league, hit that subscribe button. Beat your league mates, your friends and family. Dominate them. And if you like the video, hit that like button. And if you have any questions or comments, start sits, anything like that, leave them in the comment section down below. I'll respond as always. All right, let's hop into it. So at number 1, I've got Christian McCaffrey facing off against the Giants. Was close to putting Taylor at 1. Just McCaffrey's pass catching is just such a difference maker to me. But Jonathan Taylor at 2 could very, like I said, easily could have been 1 facing off against Jacksonville. Excellent matchup for him. Number 3, I have Austin Ekeler without Keenan Allen in the lineup. I expect his reception number to even increase, and a great matchup for touchdown upside and everything against Kansas City this week on Thursday Night Football. Number 4, Dalvin Cook against Philly. Heavily utilized in Week 1. I'm not scared away from Dalvin Cook by any means. Number 5, Saquon Barkley against Carolina. Dominated in Week 1, looked like his old self. I am very excited for Saquon Barkley moving forward rest of the season. Number 6, Derrick Henry faces Buffalo, has dominated them in the past. I think their defense is better than it was then, though. I think that Titans offense is a little worse as well. Number 7, Alvin Kamara against Tampa Bay faces off against a familiar opponent. I expect his pass catching number to be up, and we saw Ezekiel Elliott be able to run the ball against them in Week 1. Number 8, Joe Mixon against Dallas. I think this will be a really good matchup for him, and I think they'll be leading a lot of this game. Especially if T. Higgins is out, I think his reception number will stay high. Number 9, DeAndre Swift. He might not get all the goal line work, but he's a dynamite enough player, and he will score enough touchdowns and get enough opportunity on his own against Washington this week to garner top 10 attention. Number 10, James Conner against Vegas. I think this is a good matchup for him. I think 6 targets in Week 1. I was very encouraged by that. Those pass catching numbers stay. With his touchdown upside, he is a recipe for fantasy football success. 11, Leonard Fournette, huge workload. I think his targets were a little low in Week 1 even. I think they'll go up. And he was definitely the dominant back again in this offense, as all Fournette owners wanted to see. Number 12, Nick Chubb. Great matchup for him against the Jets. Dominated Week 1. They've got a great offensive line as well. 13, Javonte Williams. Heavily targeted in that game the other day against Seattle. Gets a great matchup against Houston this week. I think he will succeed immensely for fantasy football. 14, Darrell Henderson Jr. plays Atlanta this week. I expect him to continue to be the lead back until we see Cam Akers shake off some of that rust that we've seen from him post-Achilles injury. It could never happen, but until we see more out of Cam Akers, expect Darrell Henderson to be the lead back moving forward. 15, Aaron Jones against Chicago. Good matchup for him. I think he'll excel in the passing game, especially if Allen Lazard is out. Number 16, Antonio Gibson against Detroit. We saw him lead the team in receiving yards and rushing last week. Great matchup for him against Detroit. 17, Najee Harris against New England. Normally it would be a lot higher. I'm just a little bit worried about that ankle injury. Some people pointing out that could potentially be a high ankle injury that murders people's effectiveness usually. Hopefully he is all good. I just want to see it before I rank him real high again. I'm slightly worried, like I said. 18, A.J. Dillon against Chicago. Saw great pass catching numbers in Week 1. I think he might be utilized even more in the goal line this year as well. Really excited about him season long. 19, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Saw him utilized as the lead back. Hopefully that trend continues and they utilize him solely, or not solely, but gets the lion's share of the work moving forward. And I think this is just a great matchup. I like the touchdown upside for a lot of these players in this game. 20, Ezekiel Elliott against Cincinnati. Obviously, Dak Prescott's out. Hopefully, that means they just feed the ball to Zeke a lot in the Cincinnati matchup. I'm willing to play him, but temper your expectations for him moving forward without Dak. 21, Jeff Wilson Jr. against Seattle. I think he should be a dynamite play, assuming he is the guy. There's no guarantee that he is, but I would place my bet on him, especially at this point in the season. 22, Josh Jacobs against Arizona. Not super excited about Josh Jacobs, but I think that is a pretty good matchup for him. 23, Chase Edmonds against Baltimore. We saw him get 12 carries and 4 targets last week. He gets that kind of opportunity moving forward. I expect him to be really good for fantasy football. 24, David Montgomery. Just not quite getting the snap share that he usually gets and faces a good Green Bay defense. 25, Melvin Gordon. I think he's going to have great touchdown upside in this game, especially if they're leading in the second half. There's a chance I think Melvin Gordon gets a lot of that work. 26, Kareem Hunt. Great matchup for him against the Jets. He's just a guy who just gets it done each and every week. He's just so good. Cordero Patterson, tougher matchup for him this week, although he excelled running the ball against the Saints, who typically have a pretty darn good defense. Faces the Rams this week. Just don't know what the score will exactly be most of this game. But if Cordero Patterson's utilized in the passing game, when they're down, he could still thrive for fantasy football. I'd be excited if I drafted him, to be honest with you. 28, Miles Sanders against Minnesota. I do expect this to be a committee, but I think Miles Sanders has looked good, been efficient, and even scored a touchdown last week, which he didn't do all of last year. 29, James Robinson. He does look like the lead back. He played like 49% of snaps in week 1 compared to ETN's 51%, but this is his first week back from the Achilles injury. That split could potentially go up week to week. That's why I have him ranked this high. 30, Rex Burkhead against Denver. He is a lead back there currently, utilizing the passing game if they're down. I think he could have a really nice week catching the ball. 31, Michael Carter caught a ton of passes last week. The Joe Flacco loves to check down to the running back, and currently, again, lead back until Breece Hall takes over that backfield. 32, Devin Singletary against Tennessee. Good matchup for him. I expect him to be the lead back there as well. 33, Ramondre Stevenson against Pittsburgh. Part of this is I expect him to get more snaps on third down now that Ty Montgomery is on IR. Travis Etienne at 34. He looked good on the ground. It looked good through the air. Just not, it's a split backfield there. 35, Damian Harris against Pittsburgh. Looked good, was efficient in week 1, and was utilized even a little bit in the passing game as well. So I don't think that necessarily role goes entirely to Stevenson, but I think it's possible, but it'll just be in a situation to monitor moving forward. 36, Breece Hall against Cleveland. I think Breece is a solid option just because of the pass catching work he got, but if he doesn't get 10 targets or whatever he got close to every week with the current split he's getting on the ground, I don't know if he'll be super successful for fantasy, but I think you still can play him in flex consideration. 37, Kenyon Drake against Miami. If J.K. Dobbins suits up, I probably wouldn't play Kenyon Drake, but I think that is a big if. 38, Dameon Pierce, not the lead back for them currently. I do think he's a talented football player, but if you're not going to get the passing down work either, it worries me a little bit in this matchup against Denver. 39, Jamal Williams against Washington. We saw him get some goal line carries last week and be able to capitalize on them. I'm excited for Jamal Williams, although you need to temper your expectations. He might not be the biggest upside guy, but he should be involved and be able to score you some points each and every week. If you guys have made it to this point in the video, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and if you have any questions or comments, any start-sit questions, any trade questions, drop them in the comment section down below. I'll respond as always. This has been Fantasy Joe. Thank you guys for watching.